All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. All right, so welcome to the Guide to the Common App, hosted by myself, Siobhan DuPont. So, what is the Common App? The Common App is a website and basically a giant portal that students use to submit their college applications in one place at the same time. And so that's why it's called the Common App. So essentially, you fill out one application with lots of information on it, and you send it to multiple schools that you're interested in applying to. Um, Depending on the schools that you're applying to, some will ask for more information. Like they may ask for another essay, personal essay or personal statement, something like that. Or if you're like going to a school or interested in a school for arts or music or something like that, it may ask for some sort of sample like that. But essentially, you can get your application sent to multiple schools in one uh, application. So that's why it's called the Common App, and it's designed to make applying for college easier. And I just want to say quickly, feel free to turn off your mics if you have a question. Feel free to stop me because I'm sharing my screen, but it's all the presentation, so I can't see what's happening in Zoom. So feel free to turn off your mic if you have a question, and there's no such thing as a dumb question or anything like that. So yeah, we'll keep going, but don't be shy, and you can stop me if you need. So how you get to the Common App, it's through a website, www.commonapp.org. Um, I believe there is a mobile application now. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a Common App. The reason I put this here is because a student I was working with actually thought that the Common App was an app that they had to download or something, but you can do it all from your computer. So you go to commonapp.org. And when you get there, your first step is going to give you like a welcome message. And your first step is going to be creating your account. So this will pop up and it'll ask you to choose what kind of account you're looking to make. So if you're a first year student, meaning you've never been to college before, you're a senior in high school, this is going to be your first year in college, you would select first year student. If you're a transfer student, meaning um, you've gone to a community college or you've gone to another college, another four-year university, and you're looking to send your Common App to another college, you would choose transfer student, and that's a different type of application. Education professional and parent or other adult, you don't have to worry about. So first year student would be what you guys would choose. And the information that you'll need to make your profile, you're going to need an email address that you check often. So um, it could be the email that your school gives you. If you check that every day and that's one that you have access to, you remember the password and all that, use that one. If you have a personal one that you know the password to and you check it frequently and not like once a year, then use that one. Or if you have an email and you know the password and everything, you just don't use it often, use one that you have access to and make sure that you check it once you begin your college application process. So you need an email that you'll remember to check, a password that you'll remember. I highly recommend you write this down somewhere. Um, your first and last, legal first and last name, your phone number, date of birth, and address. That's all the basic information you'll need for creating your Common App account. When you get there and you create your account, the next step is adding colleges basically. So you get a little welcome message that says like, thanks for creating your account. Let's get started. And this is what your dashboard will look like. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs here. There's the dashboard, the My Colleges, the Common App, the college search, and the financial aid resources tab. You want to go to the college search tab, and you want to type in all the colleges that you're interested in applying to. And then you add them. So yeah, and if you add one that you change your mind about, you just delete it, hit this X. So the first section of the Common App when you get started is the My Profile section. And that, let me just back up really quick. Yeah, actually I don't have to, because I say it right here. This section, the My Profile section, is found under the Common App tab. And that you'll see is right here next to the left of College Search. It's the actual Common App itself. So that's all the information that you're going to be filling out, and it's going to be sent to colleges. Now this is where you put in more information about yourself. This is going to be on your application. So your legal first and last name, your address, contact information, so phone number, email, demographics, like what you identify as, location, city, state, your primary language, citizenship status, and the Common App fee waiver, which we'll get into a little bit in a little while towards the end of this presentation. I go into more detail about the Common App fee waiver, but that can be found under the My Profile section. The step 4 is the completing the family section. So in this section, they're pretty much asking what college, if any, did your parents go to, or your siblings, if they're attending or did attend. They also want to know how many people are living in your house, if your parents are separated together. And these are kind of similar to the FAFSA questions. FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, basically your financial aid application, which helps you pay for college. If you guys want to know more about that, I'm doing a presentation, a Zoom presentation on October 6th at the same time, and I can go into more detail about that. But those are the questions that they ask on the family section. And this is just another snapshot of what it looks like. So, you know, parents, marital status, and which parents you live with primarily out of the school year or out of the year in general. Next is the education section. So this is a pretty big section of the Common App. They want to know when you attended high school, who your guidance counselor is, and their information. They want to know about your grades, what's your GPA, what's your class ranking. So your class ranking is if there's 400 students in your grade, basically where do you fall in terms of your average based on the valedictorian who has the highest average and the person with the lowest. They want to know where you fall in your class ranking. GPA, I think I already said that. Course information, they want to know what kinds of courses are you taking. Are they advanced? Are they college courses? Any honors or awards that you may have received in high school. Your future plans and your career interests. So this is a big part of the Common App. There's a lot that goes into this part, and this is the bulk of the application. Pretty much is gives colleges a snapshot of what kind of student you are, both in school and yeah, where your grades fall pretty much. The testing section asks you about any SATs or ACTs you may have taken. So you can self-report your scores, meaning you can enter them in on here, or you can have your scores sent to the colleges, which I think costs more money. If I'm not mistaken, you have to pay to send your scores to the colleges. So if you do know your scores, like you can access that email that they give you or the letter that the SAT, ACT sends you when they release your scores to you, and you can self-report them accurately. I would do them here just to make your application look more complete and potentially save you money, because I'm pretty sure the SATs, to do them through the website and send them to schools, costs a fee. And if you can report them here why not? So it asks you in this box that I highlighted, in addition to sending official score reports as required by colleges, do you wish to self-report scores or future test dates for any of the following standardized tests? So in addition to sending official score reports. Okay, I guess you do have to officially send them, but you can self-report them here too. And also this is the place where you would let them know if you're taking more SATs in the future before your senior year ends. So you can indicate that here on this application. Next is the activities section. So they pretty much want to know what you're involved in outside of school, whether you do like you play an instrument or you play a sport, you're part of a club, or maybe some sort of community organization that's outside of school. If you have hobbies, you maybe have a job or you volunteer at a certain place. What they basically want to know, what are you into? What kind of person are you? What do you like to do? And so in this section, it's not about listing every single activity that you've ever done. And it's not about having so many activities. Like, you don't want to submit an entire page full of 50 activities. You want to include the ones that are most meaningful and that are most important to you. So maybe you played basketball in 9th through 12th grade. That's something that you would put there. Or maybe you were part of Key Club or something like that all throughout high school. You put that there. Ones that are meaningful to you and have made an impact on you as a person and throughout your high school experience. So if you only did chess club or something for like a month, you wouldn't put that there because it didn't really have a huge impact on you. You only went to it a few times, so you want to really consider, what are the things that I was involved in that are meaningful to me, that are important to me, that help me develop as a person. Those are what you would include in the activities section. And so it asks the type of activity. Did you have a leadership position in it? Describe the activity, what grades you participated in, and that sort of thing on this section of the Common App. Next is the writing section. I know you guys probably can't really see what the snapshot says in total, like in total detail or very clearly, because the image is a little blurry. But basically, the writing section is an opportunity for you to explain something about yourself that colleges won't be able to see by just looking at what your grades are like, or any of the other questions that they ask you on the Common App. I always caution students, don't get hung up on this part. It's only a maximum of 650 words, so that's not that much. And they give you prompts to choose from that are purposely vague and very general. And the idea here is to be very specific in your answer. So I'm going to go into the prompts in just a minute. But I also wanted to point out that some schools, like you can see right here, some schools will require a personal essay and some won't. I don't think it hurts to send it to all of them, but for some schools it's a requirement. Not every school it's a requirement. And there's also going to be, depending on the school you apply to, they may ask for an additional writing sample or an additional personal statement, that sort of thing. So that's just something to keep in mind. So these are the essay prompts. They were the exact same last year, but I imagine they change them every so often. So this is number 1, and they give you several to choose from. Some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application will be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. So, you know, this would be an opportunity to talk about an interest or a talent or something that you're involved in that is really important to you, that you can elaborate on and really give the college give the college an idea of something that you're passionate about, that they won't see by just looking at your GPA or your class rank or what kind of classes you took. This is just an opportunity to tell about yourself. The second one is the lessons we took from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from the experience? So I'm sure you could think of a challenge, a setback, or possibly a failure. They use vague language so that you can be specific in your answer. Number 3, reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome? Number 4, describe a problem you've solved or a problem you'd like to solve. It can be an intellectual challenge, a research query, an ethical dilemma, anything that is of personal importance, no matter the scale. Explain its significance to you and what steps you took or could be taken to identify a solution. Another tip I want to give for this section is colleges aren't expecting you to say, you found a cure for cancer or anything like that. You want to be realistic in your answers, and you want to be genuine and authentic to yourself. So, colleges are going to be able to spot if you're maybe exaggerating or something like that. You really just want to be again, genuine and sincere in your essay. This is really just an opportunity to tell more about yourself that your grades don't capture. Number 5, discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and new understanding of yourself or others. Number 6, describe a topic, idea, or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? What or who do you turn to when you want to learn more? And the last choice that they give you is to share an essay on any topic of your choice. It can be one that you've already written, one that responds to a different prompt, or one of your own design. So it's very flexible in what you can submit. And again, it's only 650 words maximum. So don't try to cram your life story in 650 words. By doing that, you're probably not, not like clearly, or you probably won't answer the prompt in a clear and concise way. And that will probably be less effective. So just being genuine and being specific about what you choose to write about. The prompts themselves are very broad and vague, so you don't want to use language like, throughout my life, I've learned many lessons about many things. You want to be specific in what you're talking about. Additional Common App tips, pay attention to deadlines. I have a college comparison chart that I can I can email to you guys. It basically is just a tool that helps sort information about different colleges that you might be interested in. And it's based on like your safety schools that you're likely to get into, schools that are target, and then schools that are reach. If you guys are interested, just drop your email and I'll email it to you for you to fill in at your leisure. But the reason I brought that up is because in that section, there's a part where you can write all the application deadlines for each school, just so that you have them all laid out there for you to see and you're less likely to forget them. You can only apply to 20 colleges at a time with the Common App, which is a lot. So if you want to apply to more than 20, I believe you'd have to submit like a second round of applications. Some colleges will have additional writing requirements, some will not have any at all, so that's just something to be mindful of. And there's still a thing called early decision. That means that if you get accepted, you have to go to that school. It's a contract pretty much. You can only apply to one school early decision. I don't really recommend early decision for anyone, but for someone who has their heart, their soul, everything set out on going to a school, you basically have to apply really early. So it's possible that early decision deadlines have already passed for some schools. But basically you apply early, and then if you get in, you have to go pretty much no matter what, unless you can demonstrate that there's some crazy circumstances beyond your control that aren't going to allow you to go, you have to go to that school. So it's entering into a contract, and I just really don't recommend that. But it's just good to know what early decision is in case you don't know what it is, and then you click early decision on your application or something, and then you realize that you basically are entering a contract. So you can only do one school or early decision. The So if you got an SAT or an ACT fee waiver, you're eligible for a Common App fee waiver. If you get free or reduced lunch, you're also eligible for a Common App fee waiver. If your annual family income falls within the income eligibility guidelines set by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, which I believe is linked to the free and reduced lunch program, you get a fee waiver. If you're enrolled in something like TRIO or Upward Bound, I don't think that this would apply for first-year college students, but in TRIO, that's like a college program. If you're eligible for TRIO, you can also get a Common App fee waiver, and that would probably apply to a transfer student. If your family receives public assistance, eligible for a fee waiver. If you live in public housing, foster home, or you're homeless, also makes you eligible. If you're an orphan or ward of the state, and or otherwise, if you can get a supporting statement from a school official, a college access counselor, financial aid officer, community leader, basically someone who can vouch for you and say, this person should be eligible for a fee waiver for X, Y, and Z reasons. It also says that your counselor will be asked to complete a fee waiver form to basically verify your request that you're eligible for one. And this is what it looks like on the Common App. So under the profile section, when you get there, you answer yes to this question, which says, our member colleges want to make sure that application fees do not pose a barrier for any student who wishes to apply for admission. Do you feel that your financial circumstances might qualify you for an application fee waiver? If you meet any of the criteria that I just listed on here, you would click yes and then continue. So I'm just going to show you a short video on letters of recommendation because I can't really explain the information any better myself, and this is a short informative video, so I'm just going to play it for you guys. And this is about letters of recommendation from people in your school or in your community or different organizations that you're involved in that will pretty much strengthen your application. Whoa, wait a minute. Let's see, okay.
Hi, it's Stephanie from Common App. Let's take a look at the recommendation process and how inviting recommenders works. As part of your application, you'll need to invite your counselors and recommenders. Recommenders are people who will submit forms and information to colleges on your behalf. In the Common App, there are 4 types of recommenders you can invite. Counselors, who submit your transcripts and school report. Teachers, whose letters of recommendation tell colleges about your academic and personal characteristics. Other recommenders, who share more about your character and abilities outside the classroom. And advisors. Advisors do not submit any forms, but can track your progress and provide guidance. Keep in mind that each college can determine their own recommendation requirements. They can choose how many recommendations they wish to receive, as well as accepted recommender types. You can check these requirements on the college information page and the Recommenders and FERPA section. To get started, go to a college's Recommenders and FERPA section. To access this screen, we need to know your current or most recent high school. Please complete this question in the Education section if you have not already done so. Once you've added your high school, you will need to complete the FERPA release authorization. Once you've authorized the release of your academic records and completed the FERPA process, you will see invitation options. If your high school uses Naviance eDocs to submit recommendation forms, you'll invite your counselor and teachers in Naviance instead of the Common App. You can invite recommenders in the Common App by selecting the Invite Recommenders button at the top of the page. Then choose the type of recommender to invite. A form will open where you can fill out their basic information. You can invite recommenders from each section. A form will open where you can fill out their basic information. If you're inviting a teacher or other recommender, you will also select their subject or recommender type. Some recommenders must be assigned in order to receive an invitation. We will prompt you to assign a recommender to your college during the invitation process. If you are unsure about sending an invitation to a recommender, you can always choose not to assign them in the college yet. Also keep in mind that you can easily remove a recommender assignment at any time. If you don't include an email address for a recommender, they will be marked as offline. This means you'll need to download PDF forms for them to complete and send to colleges on your behalf. Once we've invited a counselor, you can see that they've automatically been added to all your colleges. This is because counselors need to submit transcripts and forms to all the colleges you're applying to. If you do not assign a teacher, parent, or other recommender during the invitation process, you'll see that they have not yet been added to a college. To assure that this recommender can complete an evaluation, you must select their name and assign them to this college. Keep in mind that not every recommender will appear in this dropdown. Colleges choose their own recommender requirements, and we will only allow you to assign recommenders that meet those requirements. To unassign a recommender from a college, use the remove icon next to the recommender's name. To delete a recommender completely, select Manage Recommenders and select the trash can icon. You can also give advisors and counselors permission to view a preview of your applications. To do so, select Enable Preview. You'll be asked to affirm that you understand how the application preview works. To remove preview access from an advisor or counselor, choose Disable Preview. Once a recommender has been assigned, you can see the status of the forms they are submitting on your behalf. As your recommenders work on and submit these forms, you will see the status of the forms change here. The statuses are Not Started, Started, Submitted, and Downloaded. And that's it. Now that you understand how to invite and assign recommenders, you're ready to get started.
Okay, so that's basically the scoop on letters of recommendation. And so, I don't know why it's kind of... and then the last slide is just a video of a guy who walks through the entire application, so he pretty much fills one out himself. This is the link. I'm happy to send it to you. It's longer than the one that we just watched, so I'm not going to play it for you here, but I'm happy to send it to you. And that's all the information I have on the Common App. Tom, did you want me to send any of this information to you? Or do you have any questions so far? Can you hear me?